Good afternoon, NorCal Carters. This is Jason, and our weekly updates have been kind of turned on their heads because, as many of you know, we're not stuck at home, but we're kind of stuck at home. And today we have Wes Phillips on with us. Wes, you want to say hello really quick?
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
We have Wes Phillips on. He's with the ReTyre Corp. And NorCal Carters has been promoting ReTyre for a number of months now. And Wes is going to go into in-depth on the program, why it's important to local karting. And so we'll have Wes right back on in a moment. But I want to give a shout out to our current supporters of the website. We have Challenge of the Americas, Andy Saisman, and his website is challengekarting.com. He was one of the first to jump on board for the 2020 season, and his series is kind of at a standstill right now, just like the rest of us. The Northern Nevada Kart Club, thank you. You have supported the website for 2020. So again, Northern Nevada Kart Club. And we also have the NCK Road Racing Group. So thank you to those guys. And we have our revolving sponsor, TB Kart USA. They've been one of our revolving sponsors that basically have said, fill us in where you need to. And so we appreciate their support as well. And we're always looking for sponsors. And during this COVID-19 lockdown, stay-at-home, shelter-in-place mandates, we will do our best to keep karting at the front of your mind and kind of break up the monotony of just being stuck in one visual location or environment. And I invite you to chime in on Facebook, NorCal Carters, and kind of post what you're doing during this time. So, sponsors, thank you. I do appreciate the support, and we look forward to some other projects in the future just to help expand and grow karting. And without further ado, Mr. Wesley Phillips with ReTyre Corp. How you doing, Wes?
Thanks a lot. I'm doing great. Thanks a lot, Jason, for having me on today. I really appreciate it. And I'd like to say hi to everyone in Northern California and abroad listening in on the podcast. It's a wonderful day out here. I'm actually in the Midwest right now, enjoying some sunshine. Alone, obviously, but still enjoying some good weather. And you have that natural racing itch comes in. I'm sure many people at home, the go-karts in the garage are just itching to get back out on the track. So, but it's good to be here. It's good to talk about karting. There's been a whole lot of other news online and on television about how, crazy times are right now, but it's just refreshing to talk about go-karts and specifically about go-kart tires. So
yeah,
thank you, Jason,
I would kind of agree with you. So before we get into the ReTyre program, and for those of you looking, the website is under development right now, but it will be landed at ReTyreCorp.com, and that's ReTyre Corp, CORP.com. But you do have a Facebook page set up under ReTyre Corp. And why are you not on Facebook? What is going on here?
I don't know. It's just like I'm not the biggest fan of social media, and I decided to take a little bit of a break off of all these programs here because it seemed to have repetitious kind of same news or kind of inventing other ways to kind of scare people. But it's a virus like any other virus. It's upper and lower respiratory impacts are quite a bit more severe than normal. So it's just like if everyone makes their wise steps, we'd just be just fine. So, but I don't know of any virus that can stand up against a rock or IME exhaust fume. But so I think the go-kart track would be one of the
trackside outhouses.
Oh my goodness, yeah, this is hazmat sites alone. So,
yeah.
And those porta johns and everything at the track. Great to bring that up because that was one of the reasons why ReTyre came about was to try to work on the issue of preventing all these tires from going into landfills or going into porta-johns or going into dumpsters or going into garages at the go-kart track. It's been a hot topic before the coronavirus came about. That was one of the hot button issues on the West Coast. And me being from American Canyon and having a pretty long history at Dixon and Davis and Prairie City, and it's old Dixon, by the way, with old asphalt and basically parking curves for apexes. Definitely taught you how to drive right, that's for sure. So growing up there and seeing how much of a benefit it served me in Northern California, growing up at these tracks, learning from the drivers, when I was just starting out in the sport, I have a deep appreciation for it. And to solve this problem of capturing these tires and finding a new purpose for them, whether it's put these shoes on other drivers to get more laps out of them, or to fully recycle them and turn them into different products. Sky's the limit, we found out, and we've recycled so far, I think, close to 30,000 pounds of tires.
Recycled 30,000 pounds of tires.
30,000 pounds, yes.
Wow,
so
that's
quite a bit of tonnage there. So it's like
that's a lot of tonnage there.
No.
And
it is. The tires are heavy. I mean, as these promoters will tell you, and Andy will tell you, but the biggest frustration is these tires stack up, and they stack up in people's garages and their race trailers, and then they end up all kinds of places. So I think we have a good, valuable solution that is a positive in pretty much every direction with regard to ReTyre and their slightly used and newly repurposed tires available for customers and racers wanting to get on the track and still do a good lap time. May not be a brand new set of tires, but it'll be really, really close, within a few tenths of a brand new set, and less than half the price of a brand new set. So with all the compounds being made available across the racing series in the United States, we still have a few we're missing, but all in all, we've got a good product base, and all the drivers that have driven on these tires that we've managed to preserve, in my opinion, better than brand new sets, because they're fully encased and fully sealed. And two things that we find that really severely negatively impact the tires are sunlight and oxygen. And if we can try to get rid of those two things as much as possible, these tires last a whole really, really long time. So that's one of the problems I personally encountered when I was trying to keep tires around. If I had them stacked up in the trailer, and a few months later, those tires are dried out. Oxygen's attacked, and the oils has dried out and seeped out to the surface, and the tires turn quite like a bluish turquoise color, and it's pretty much a good indicator that the tires are finished. So the tires we take out, they look like they just came off the track, and they're fresh and ready to go. So really proud of the product, really proud of customer satisfaction rates across the United States, and looking to move on to the next level and provide more service and more quality for our customers across the U.S.
Yeah, and like I mentioned earlier, NorCal Carters, we have been stocking the ReTyre product for, it's actually longer than a couple of months. Maybe it's almost close to 9 months, and the feedback I've received has been pretty good. And one of the questions I get pretty frequently, and I know a couple of our other dealers received the same question, is ReTyre, is it a retread?
No, it's not a retread. What we do is, in a major national racing series, there's a lot of money going out to tire budgets for all these racers, and the national championships. A lot of the drivers often use 3 sets, maybe 4 sets a day, and we only get so much track time, so that usually leaves about 10 to 15 laps on some of these sets of tires, and they have so much volume. They had a problem getting rid of everything, and that's a big cause of this rubber problem at all these tracks. So with that said, I thought, well, why not? There's a lot of 2% 2 to 5% of all go-kart owners in the United States actually race. All the other drivers, all the other enthusiasts, they go out to the track, they have a good time, they drive maybe once or twice a month, and they put their cart away. They had a really good time. They enjoyed themselves. They went really fast, possibly rubbed wheels with another go-kart. It's a thrilling experience for someone who really is not an avid racer. And I think that these racers were being underserved massively, because when you go to the track, it's either like, okay, I'm going to run my tires down to the course and buy a brand new set for $200 to $250. Either option, it's just like, I'm not going to get much out of it if I'm running really old tires. And man, that's a pretty expensive nut to crunch just to do some practice laps. So I think we found something that will serve these drivers. And even, like I said, the quality is high enough to where our racers that use these tires, they can do testing and development because the tires are still within range. Now, are they going to go as long as a brand new set? No, but I believe they'll get 85 to 90% of the way there. So that's a really good solution for these racers that want to turn a bunch of laps, especially shifter drivers, especially masters. It's a very popular tire in our 80 shifters on the harder tires. Even the tags, a lot of these tracks are really abrasive. Old Dixon was incredibly abrasive, but newer Dixon's slightly better. But still, these tracks like Prairie City, they chew up tires a lot. And when you want to go to the track, you still want to have some fighting chance at a good lap time and good grip. So I think this is where ReTyre steps in and offers a product that's affordable, gets racers to the track, and serves a greater purpose of keeping these tires out of landfills a little bit longer, or not at all, once we ramp up more with our capturing 100% of all the tires to recycle for the go-kart series in the United States. So the programs are a little bit farther out, but for now, we've tested it. We've offered these tires to a bunch of racers, a bunch of enthusiasts at the track, and they all love them. So they usually get 1 or 2 sets to start, and they're usually purchasing 5 to sometimes 20 sets at a time, because they want to go to the track. These tires are affordable enough where they can buy higher volumes, and the tracks benefit a lot from this program as well, because if the racers are at the track, then they're going to consume something, whether it's something as basic as the track rental fee, the $35 to $65 or $75, how much it is to be on the track for that day, but also fuel. If the track offers fuel, the track offers all types of consumable services. If the racers are at the track turning laps, they're more likely to use the services of the dealers and the track itself. So there's really no negative impact with this program. The racers benefit, the tracks benefit, the environment benefits, and I don't really see any negative course here for ReTyre. So I think we kind of hit a good thing, and the more that we get racers and enthusiasts to experience this product and these tires, I think the more popular the brand's going to be across the whole country.
Yeah, you touched on a couple of really good points there. One of them was the harder tire for the shifter guys, or like the 80s. And you and I just met up last week, and I picked up a truckload of Evenco Blues, and I specifically picked them up for our 80 guys. We have an 80 group that has just exploded here in NorCal over the past, year, maybe a little less than a year. There's a lot of enthusiasm, and it was a motivator for me to hop in the truck and meet you out there in Nevada. And it's bringing a good value to the local club guy or the local weekend warrior that just wants to go pound laps. And you had mentioned earlier, when you're going through the tires, you actually do the claiming of these tires and packaging them up. And when I get the tires, it's nice. They're in a box. They're ready to ship. They're wrapped in cellophane. And so give our listeners a quick tip. I know our job right now, we're trying to sell tires, but give them a quick tip on how they can maintain their existing tire lasting a little bit longer when they're not at the track.
Oh, that's a really good point to bring up, Jason, with the tire preservation and making these tires last longer. It gets back to those two